everyone, and welcome to Flosstube number 27. Hello guys, let's get started. I will say about my background, this is my corner of things that need to be hung. But rooms have to be painted first. So here's a collection of pretty things that need to be hung. So there's that. In case you were wondering like what this is behind me, but that's what that is. Let's go ahead and jump into some stitching. I have a fully finished, 2 finishes, and then a few whips. And I kind of want to update you on my Maynia plans and how I'm sticking to them. So let's start with the fully finished. So this is Petal Pusher's Saltbox Fairy Village. It does have glass on it, which I have some thoughts about glass and framing. So we'll talk to you about that in a second. Petal Pusher's Saltbox Fairy Village. I stitched it 2 over 2 on 36 count flax. I stitched this in April 2024. This is a little tiny frame that I found at the thrift store, and I actually do have the other one because it was a set of 2. Hold on. So this is the original color. This is what it looked like, and so I painted it. And I just was like, found them randomly, and I was like, because I've had them in that basket, and I was like, oh, I should try and see if I can find any finishes that could go in here, and luckily this one fit perfectly. There was one more that would fit in the other frame, but I think I'm gonna frame that as an ornament instead. Hold on, where's the best way? There we go. That's probably the best way not to get a glare. Sorry about the angle, but it's the only way I can not get the ring light in it. And that is going to help you see everything better. So I did paint this. I will say on the back, I finished it the same way. I actually found out this tape is acid free. So I'm just going to continue to use that until I'm out of it. But basically what I did on the back, not very fancy schmancy, but it's some craft paper. And I wrote pattern Petal Pusher Saltbox Fairy Village. The fabric I used, if I was substituting flosses, so this one was called for a DMC. And when I stitched it, this one I stitched in like a week. So I just said stitch April 2024. But I did go back on my Mary Yerger piece. Hold on, let me show it to you. It's right here. I did go back on my Mary Yerger piece and add the notes on this one. And I said started September 2024 and finished April 2025, which is when I finished it, not when I fully finished it. So I did write that on there. I love the idea of Lori Holt's library cards, but in all honesty, they can get quite expensive. So I thought that was a fun way to kind of remember it and document it. And you could obviously put like a library card if you want. I love the idea of a library card. Probably gives you a little bit more room, especially on a smaller finish like this. But I just thought that was really helpful. So I'll have that information available to me if I want it. Or in the future, if somebody else is like, oh, what pattern is this? When was this stitched? Then that's kind of fun that they can see that. So yeah, I'm obsessed with this one. Can't wait to get some frames on my wall. I will say, let's talk about glass framing real quick. So both of these, the Mary Yerger, which I just showed you, and this one have glass. I don't think I'm going to continue using glass unless I find, like, these frames came with glass because I found them both at thrift stores. But unless I find a frame at a thrift store, I don't think I'm going to necessarily purchase a frame with glass because I kind of like this almost mattifies my stitches a little bit more. Like it makes them more 2D, and I like the 3D-ness of it. I don't mind this whatsoever. But I think if I was buying, I'm kind of looking into buying a few custom frames. And so I think if I'm going to buy a custom frame, then I'm probably not going to get glass on it. What are the pros and cons? Like, what are your thoughts of the pros and cons, like longevity-wise? I would love to know if you have any thoughts or tips or anything about that. We'll put that up there so we can see it the rest of the time. All right, now let's talk about the finishes. All right, this one you're probably expecting to be a finish. This is MGhrodes 1890. This is from CraftyMJC. And here is my finish. I didn't take a before photo for this one because I was like, I'm just gonna finish it. So here it is. Basically, I finished this row. I did that, and then I did the birds. So I'm going to give you a close-up from top to bottom. Like I said, this is MGhrodes 1890 by CraftyMJC on Etsy. I stitched it 1 over 2 on 36 count gunmetal, and that is basically the new parts. I love the coloring in the bottom of those letters. I think it's 3 or 4 shades of DMC to make it look that way, which is really cool. Really cool. These birds are beautiful. Yeah, so I finished that and I'm loving it. This is a standard 5x7 size, so hopefully I can find a frame for that one pretty quickly. but it's so pretty. I absolutely love it. There's a ton more like cranberry reds in this at the bottom. And I actually found a frame I really like on Amazon. I'm going to pop a picture of it there right beside it so you can see. But it's actually velvet, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I think this would look really beautiful in it because it kind of pulls out those cranberry reds. I was looking for a pink frame, and I found that one, and I was like, I just think it would be absolutely beautiful. So there is my first finish. Second finish, like I told you in my last video for Maynia, I was trying, or am trying, to touch every single whip I have. And some of these were, my kind of thought behind it, which I didn't mention last time, I don't think I fully knew that I was kind of planning to do this until this week, was if I don't touch it, there's a couple things that I didn't want to touch. And one of them is a UFO. And this one, which I was just like, I love it. I just was tired of working on it. I was like, I'm going to push it to a finish. So this is a Cup of Christmas Cheer mug by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. And he's so cute. Absolutely adore him. He is so precious. And it wasn't that I didn't like the stitch. It just didn't. He had the littlest bit left. I literally had his face, the tree, and these two candy canes. These two candy canes, the tree, and then just the inside of his face. So he didn't have much left. I was just ready to be done with him. Sometimes you get that way with a project. This one is stitched on 32 count Petit point raw white Belfast linen using the called for flosses. This is a freebie pattern from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. There was a few snowflake confettis here, but I don't think they'd have looked good on this fabric because even, I love the candy canes, but even when they hit white polka dot, they kind of look a little funny. They just look a little funny. It distorts them a little bit. They're not as clear. So I knew those snowflakes wouldn't look great, but I love this one. I'm thinking maybe another book finish for this one. I don't know quite what I want to do with him yet, but I do love him. I would love to, in our hallway, eventually at Christmas time, have like just Christmas finishes. And maybe I would switch out all the finishes in here with a Christmas wall. I don't know. Somewhere I would like to have a Christmas finish wall. So I might frame him. I haven't measured him actually. I'm sure he'd probably fit in a standard size frame. I just think he is so cute. So I did finish him. And then I worked on some whips. So I worked a lot on that one, but I'm not going to show that yet. Okay, this one is Soaring Santa by Stitchrovia. Sorry about the zipping. I'm going to pull the flosses out for you to see. This is what it looked like last time. This one I got from the Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas Magazine, volume 19 from 2020, and I got that through Readily, but the pattern does have a different name, but you can get it through the Stitchrovia Etsy shop if you'd like. And I am about, if we count there, let's pretend I finished the bottom part, I am halfway on the bottom. Now, I haven't even started on Santa and the sleigh and the reindeer at the top, but I'm halfway on the bottom. This one just takes a while because there's so many color changes. Like, even those are three totally different colors. So there's just a lot of color changes, so it takes a little bit of time, but I really like it. I think I worked on this one for 3 days. And I just think it's super pretty. I'm still in love with it. This one's definitely going to be framed. I definitely did cut my fabric a little big. That's upside down. Cut my fabric a little big because if it's just going to be double that, it's not going to be huge big, but if it's going to be double that, I did cut it a little bit big this way. I could have done a little bit better margins, but it's okay. I am using the called for flosses, and I'm stitching it on a 28 count white DMC, just like a DMC white fabric. I did soften it. Here are all these colors, like beautiful vintagey, looks a mess. Very pretty, it's a little bit better. Very pretty vintagey colors. And you can see a lot of them have been used. I think once I get to that Santa and the reindeer, I will unkit some of those because most of those bright colors are in the houses. There's some on Santa, but not all of these. But yeah, super beautiful. Love that bit. And that's one that every time I pick it up, I'm like, oh, I love this. I should pick this up more, and then I don't, but I should, and I'm hoping to. We shall see though. All right, next whip is the one I worked on the most. This is Dimensions Treasure Time. This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. You may remember me saying last time that there was a little, was one row short there. And the reason I knew is because I was running short at the bottom, but also my window couldn't be as tall because I was one off. So I just fudged a little and I really continued on. So here is what it looks like now. I'm gonna give you a full body view of it. There is a little bit more there, but oh my gosh, it looks so good from far away. Oh my gosh. When you're like this, like, I'm not that close to it, but when you're like stitching the pixelation of it, you are not seeing the whole picture. You really have to pull it away to see it. And I am obsessed. Oh my gosh. I love this one. I am using the kitted materials. I'll talk to you about a fix on that fudge in a minute, but I'm using the kitted materials and I did soften the fabric. And you can still see my nerd tube lines because I worked on this literally 7 days straight. So it stayed in the nerd tube for those 7 days. But I just added a row of blue there. And it was really simple and easy. And I added that row of blue. I'm obsessed with this Christmas tree. I'm not doing any back stitching. I'm going to go back at the end and do back stitching and French knots or beads. If I decide to do beads, I don't know yet. I love those little white posts. And these are going to be people right here. I was kind of hoping to get a page finish on this. And if I had literally, the edge of that house is a page finish. So if I just worked up and like this, I could have got a page finish. Because I think right here is literally like the bottom part of the house is a page. So I definitely worked down more and got my stitches there instead of getting a page finish, but I'm very close to a 1-page finish. And this is a 4-page pattern. So I would love to be able to get 2 pages done this year. Then I would be pretty close. I'd be halfway there. So then I feel like next year I could probably do another 2. And then the next year I could backstitch it and have it done in about 3 years. Which I think for a project this size and pretty full coverage, that is realistic. You can kind of see there. But yeah, I'm obsessed with this. And it was really easy to fudge it. I'm glad that I went ahead and did that and continued on. Because I know if I hadn't have, it'd have been a long time before I picked that up again. So I'm glad I did that. I'm definitely going to pick this one up again when I have a week to really focus on stitching. The week that I worked on this, A, it rained a lot, and B, work was really light that week, so I could stay up really late. I think I stayed up till like almost 1 o'clock every night working on this. And so it'll definitely be when I have another week like that when I'll pick this up again, because that's not when I want to work on for 2 days. It's when I want to pick up and get a lot done on. And I was really excited about getting so much done on that. Okay, next one is a new start. This is Memorial Day by Hands On Designs. And of course I started on Memorial Day. I had to start on Monday. This is currently Wednesday. So I worked on it about a day and a half. When I say a day and a half, I mean like a night and a half. I had a couple hours stitching at night. I'm stitching this on 36 count antique white using the called for, let me fold it in half like this. There we go. Using the called for sulky 12 weight flosses, which is my first time using them. It's more like this in person. That light is washing it out just a little bit. It's a little bit brighter there. It's a little bit better. Love the sulky 12 weights. I would just like to say they're absolutely amazing. This is a pretty big cut of fabric. It's definitely not going to take this whole thing. I'm going to have a good chunk left, but I kind of want to go ahead across the top with the words, and then probably do the little clothesline poles, and then I'll trim it just to make sure I have ample fabric on the sides. But yeah, I'm loving this. So pretty. Here's the sulky 12 weight pack, and I did just buy it in a pack on Hands On Design. On 1, 2, 3 stitch. You can kind of see that green there. There you go. The only color I've used so far is 1234, which is this one, which I'll put back in there now. That's the only color I've used so far. And like I said, I do kind of want to finish the words. I would really like to focus on this one between now and the 4th of July. I don't necessarily want to finish it, but I would love to focus on it and get a good chunk done for this year, because this is not a sad start, but I want to get it to a place, which I don't feel like it's at now, where I could pick it up and put a good bit of progress on it, because it already has a good bit of progress and I'm not feeling that right now. So this is one I'm going to keep out and work on in June some, like I said, till the 4th of July. And I do actually have a start for July. You may remember I kitted up last year. It was a while ago. It's July from the Prairie Schooler. Hold on, let me get it. Here it is. It is fully kitted, floss ring and everything. So this is the Prairie Schooler July. And I specifically want to do that one. I haven't even looked at the little ones, honestly. I don't really have any desire to do those. I think I want to do this one. And it says, July brings the greatest heat. Strawberries and melons make cool treats. And I love the little stars at the bottom too. I'm trying not to show you the back because the pattern for that is on the back of this. So yeah, here is that. And I have it fully kitted. I have the fabric, which I bought a 25 count, just a natural cotton Lugana from Hobby Lobby. I remember kitting that up literally on July 4th. July 4th, we went to Michael's. And I remember having that pattern and kitting it up on July 4th. Because that was like the last time that we went. Cross stitch string kitting, cross stitch floss. My son calls it string. But cross stitch floss, kitting up shopping before we moved. And so I remember, like I just remember that day so distinctly. Because we were really about to move and we were like nervous but excited, and I can like put myself there, feel what I felt like when I was putting this up. Honestly, I kitted up the Stitchrovia Soaring Santa at the same time too, actually. Lastly, I want to talk about my my Maynia plans and what I have left to do. So like I said, I wanted to touch every whip. Now currently there's 4 days left in May. And I have 5 whips, but I'm going to cheat a little bit and count June 1st because I did take a little bit of extra time working on this when I'd already worked on this whip, and taking a couple extra days to push those to a finish instead of just working on them because this was a whip I'd already worked on. So yes, if I work on these each one day, then I can get them done. This is my spooky countdown by the Primitive Hair. I'm not going to pull that one out. This one is ornaments. Yeah, it has 3 needles in there. This is my, and I'm not going to put up pictures of this. I'll show like proper pictures of what they're supposed to look like when I show what I've worked on next time. But this is the Nutcracker series. I believe this is Snow Queen from Satsuma Street. If you remember the Floss drama where I had already started her, I put a hole in the perforated paper. We have the Scarecrow from Brooks Books. I would love to get a lot done on this. Honestly, I think I might focus on him tonight after I do this video. This one, which is my Valentine's Day whip, which if I didn't work on one, this would be the one I didn't work on, but I'm going to work on it. It does have a needle through the thing, but I found so many needles pulling on these projects. It just has the love, so I'll probably fill in one of these and then work up. I need to get out of the love section. I've been working on that because it's so easy because it's filling, but I need to move up because there's a bunch of little stuff at the top. And I also have a pair of scissors in here. Been looking for those scissors, so that's good to know. What else do we have? Oh, last one is Let Us Adore Him by Sweeping Studio. Do I have the cover photo yet? So here's the cover photo. Here's what I have so far. So if I could just finish that church, that would be great. I could probably finish the church and do a little bit more, but I'd be happy finishing the church. So yeah, that is my goals for the rest of May, is to work on each of those for one night, and June 1st, because I'm cheating a little bit, but and June 1st, and then I'll have touched every whip besides the one that I unkitted. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. My plan was kind of, when I finished, was to reward myself with a new start, but Memorial Day kind of stuck up on me. If I'm going to do a new start or if I'm going to just work on that some more. So we'll see about that. I did place a big 1, 2, 3 stitch order last night. I finished kitting up some things that I want to start. there was a pattern on sale that I randomly decided I was going to kit up because it was on sale. So I bought all the floss on the fabric and the pattern. Kind of an impulse buy last night, like 10 o'clock, but I did that. Yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, y'all had a lot of comments on my Biscornu video that, oh my gosh, I love Biscornus, or I have a few patterns, but I haven't stitched one, or I'm a little nervous to stitch one. And first off, same. Secondly, someone said that they, I don't want to say your name because you might not want your name on the video, but someone commented and said that they tested making Biscornu first, like with fabric, before they actually went through all the hours and time of stitching the Biscornu. They just went and stitched a Biscornu together before they did stitching as kind of like a trial run template, which I thought was a wonderful idea. But I'm thinking maybe in August I want to do first Biscornu style. So if you have any ideas for like hashtags that you would like for that, or you think would be good, let me know. I've never done a stitch along, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm very excited. I might do a free pattern one, or I also have a couple patterns that I've bought. I have a reindeer one that I really want to start. If you have any hashtag ideas for that, please leave them down below. Jolly July? Also, Jolly July, Christmas in July is coming up soon. And so I really want to spend the first 2 weeks of June, like once I finish my Maynia, and kind of regroup and figure out what I'm going to do for Christmas in July stitching and what my plans are going to be. I would love to do a few Flosstube extra videos. Maybe flipping through some vintage Christmas cross stitch books, because I know a lot of times I'll see them on DStash, or I'll see them on thrift books or Amazon even, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a great book, but I don't actually know what's in it, and so I don't purchase it. But I feel like if I knew there were patterns in it that I wanted to stitch, then I would probably purchase it and get it, you know what I mean, because I knew there was patterns I wanted. So I'm probably gonna grab a few of those and do a flip through those. I'm thinking I might buy a Christmas kit, like a dimensions kit, or like a realist or Mereshka kit. I don't know. I have a Mereshka one I've been keeping my eye on. If there's anything else you would like to see for Jolly July or Christmas in July, let me know. I don't know if there's any more Christmas free patterns out there. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might save that for Flossmas this year. But yeah, let me know if there's anything you would like to see in Christmas in July, Jolly July. Because I just love Christmas. And now I feel like when July comes, I start thinking of my Christmas themes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a new house and I have to theme Christmas. Very excited about that. The bed, let me tell you a little bit of personal life updates. I feel like I'm just like waffling now, but the bed is put together semi. Turned out the slats on the sides weren't made for the bed, and the dowels and them were broken. So thankfully, we have kind of figured out a solution. We have to get a little bit more wood, and I've ordered the mattress, and when the mattress gets here, we're gonna see how it fits and like do the slats and the sides and make everything perfect. So it's a little bit more of a DIY than I thought it would be, but that's okay. So yeah, very excited. I think I'm not going to paint the walls in here. Also, that's another thought I've had. I just don't think I am. So once the bed gets done, I'm going to start hanging cross stitch on the walls, because once the bed gets done, I can place the bed and figure out where my big cross stitch wall is going to be of all my finishes. So anyway, that is a lot of talking. I hope you've enjoyed. I feel like nothing crazy is happening like in our personal life. We've been spending a lot of time outside when it's not raining. It has been raining a lot here. The past 2 days it rained. It hasn't rained today, and it's supposed to rain the next 2. Actually 3, because it's supposed to rain Saturday too. So it's gonna thunderstorm on and off for the next 3 days. So yeah, we're trying to get outside and enjoy it while we can. Just living life, enjoying the first little bits of summer, late spring weather. Yeah, how are you enjoying your spring summer? What are you excited to do this spring summer? I think I'm gonna make a bucket list for my son of like summer activities and things to do, which I think will be really, really fun. I think he'll love that. So what's something that's on your summer bucket list you would like to do? And yeah, that's all I have today. I feel like I've talked to you. Oh my gosh, this clip is 10 minutes long. It's going to take forever to transfer to my computer. That's okay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me again. I love having you all here. And thank you so much to everyone who comments and likes and watches. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. And I will see you for another video in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.